Okay, so StreamYard is having troubles, but I see that looking at my hand because I crushed it between my chair and the table. And when I got out. Now Mary is.
Sorry.
It's one of those days, It's one of those days, and anyway, I'll try not to complain. Although there's all kinds of weird stuff going on, and one of the things that bugs me the very most is the hand looks better. See, yeah, is the fact that a lot of people are getting taken down in social media with regards to this subject, and there are a more than disproportionate amount of videos going up all of a sudden that are all fake, and it's being flooded with them, which brings into question certain people in our administration. One that shouldn't even be there because he's a person that just is a businessman and has SpaceX. He has no business being in there, but I have a feeling that between him and some of the other folks that now feel so emboldened that they're going around threatening people, especially people who had top secret security clearances. So I know maybe some of you are watching and listening. I get why you're not returning my texts. I get why you're not returning our phone calls and why we don't hear from you anymore when you were our dear friends, but you've gone dark. A lot of you have. And of course, AP just released their long list of websites that are either going to be taken down, removed, or at least the information taken off of them that doesn't agree with the current administration, including
the Enola Gray.
The Enola Gray. Now, if you don't know what the Enola Gray is, gay. It's great. Too much with the grays on the mind. Gay, G-A-Y. The last name of the pilot's mother, he named his B-29 that before he went and delivered the first bomb to Japan. That plane is in the Smithsonian, and it's right on the side, Enola Gay, not Gray. And of course, that bothered the fathead orange guy so much that it was named Gay. That he wants the pictures removed from the internet. Now, I'm not making this up. This is actual news. This is not fake news. This was on mainstream media. And that's just some of the stuff that he's going after to take down. So it worries me that there might be more of this happening. And I assure you, no matter what happens, if we have to name this show Breaking the Oscar bag or the Dior bag or something like that, that's what we'll do to keep it going. If we get taken down, we'll put it back up. If they take it down again, we'll go dark web. I mean, we will stay going no matter what happens. There's always a way. And what really ticks me off too is he hires these little 19-year-old hackers to do all this stuff for him. And it's just, boy, wouldn't you like to get your hands around them, huh? So, yeah, this stuff's pretty upsetting. But anyway, moving on to other things, I'm working very hard on the next film. You all liked The Invited, which you saw bits and pieces of, but unfortunately, there was something going on with StreamYard, and so hopefully that'll be cleared up next time. So they've been very consistent. They've been very good. We have had problems in the past, and but we'd had a little bit today. I see that I'm on and I'm not cut in half or anything like that, so it's working well. So I've been working on that film. The name of it is The Keep. And I'm going to hopefully release a short trailer next week because it'll be done in about 2-3 more weeks. It's much more involved than The Invited. And it does have to do with, there are visitors in it of a different kind. And it is very sci-fi in a way. But the ending is a surprise. So, but geez, thank you so much. And I pronounced that Jisung or Jisung? Mary?
I don't know. Isong.
Jisung.
Isong.
Isong. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And forgive me for not knowing the correct way of pronouncing your name, but it's very much appreciated, the support, because it helps us keep going. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking. I was talking about the film. So I'm going to do a short trailer, and it's really, really quite a different film than The Invited, although it has the same character in it. I call him George. He's a metahuman that we use in Unreal, and there are a lot of metahumans to choose from, and I can even change them around and stuff. But I've always liked that one. He probably won't return in the next film. I'm not even sure what the next film's going to be. Maybe it'll be something about the aliens coming and
another communion letter.
Maybe the aliens coming and removing the White House and putting it on another planet and turning everybody in the White House into slaves to serve their race. Remember that Our Limits episode? That was a great one. They take a whole neighborhood, and the neighborhood wakes up the next morning and there's this fog around town, and they can't get beyond the fog. And they realize that something's happened, and basically they've been taken by an alien race that contracted a disease that made it impossible for them to function. And so they wanted these humans to serve them or to help them. And as humans like to think about doing back in those days, they all joined hands so they'd all get the disease in defiance and resistance to these oligarchs, alien oligarchs trying to take them over. We need to get back that spirit. Yes, our metas are CGI. We do not do AI. There are really good uses for AI, like when you're doing searches and you're trying to get information or instructions on how to do something with a certain piece of equipment you've got, but I would never use it to do filmmaking, ever, never. And I know people think it's getting better and it looks great, but it always looks like what it is. Thank you, Benno. So anyway, we got to see our pastor friend. It made me think of The Preacher, which we finally finished. What an amazing show that was. If you haven't seen The Preacher, I highly recommend it, but be sure to wear a lobster bib. It is bloody. Bib. So Dale was amazing. He's a pastor. He's a very straightforward guy, very honest. And I thought his way of expressing what happened to him was pretty amazing. It's funny thing is that we just got a new camera. It was like 2 or 3 days before, the Sony A7, which is a fantastic camera. We like it better than the other one we had for more reasons than I can list here. But it's incredible camera, and it's very lightweight, so it is easy to handheld it. But I didn't plan to do handheld photography, and I hadn't done it in a very long time. Well, I was kind of forced to that day, because when Dale got there, I realized that there's a head that fits onto our fluid head tripod. We use a fluid head, so it's very smooth moving and everything. And that head was stuck on the Panasonic camera, our other nice camera that we have, and that was back at home. So there was no way to put it on a tripod. And we had several tripods there, but none of them had the head that we needed that would fit on the camera to fit that fluid head tripod. So I had to do handheld work. And so it was shaky, and I put it into the editor and I put stabilization on it, but it still at times was very reminiscent of the remake of Battlestar Galactica, which I love, by the way. It's great, but it's that kind of, hey, kind of thing. So that had you all running for barf bags. I'm sorry, it won't happen again, I promise. Or if it does, I'm going to use the Steadicam, which we have. We have a Steadicam that I haven't used yet. So You're talking about Musk and cutting off live feeds. Oh,
He doesn't own Google.
I'll be so glad when he's not in our face anymore. I'll put it lightly. And how about going to the moon and going back to Mars and how much better he is and NASA and all that stuff? Well, let's see. We're getting some pretty amazing stuff back from Mars. James Webb, Hubble's still working all these years later. God, we went to the moon. We left the solar system. Voyager's out there, the little blue dot. So many amazing accomplishments that actually had to do with space exploration, not just putting up satellites. NASA has done. And look at Starship. The first time he launched it, he scorched the pad and destroyed the pad because he didn't have the proper protocols in place, like the water that hoses down the pad and the engines and stuff. But I mean, 8 times it's failed. And every time it gets close to getting up into orbit and space, it tumbles out of control and crashes back down the Earth, distributing debris in a wide field. So if I were him, I wouldn't toot my horn too much about being as good as or better than NASA. We still need NASA. NASA's done a lot of good things for us, and we're benefiting from it as well. I don't like the UFO cover-up stuff, but I think that's out of their control. Damon, Steve, do you think ETs are knocking down his ships? I hope so. I don't know, but they have been consistently getting knocked down. They're not doing well, but yet, Damon, we live real close to where SpaceX launches their Dragons, and they put up the satellites all the time, and it's very loud, and it's lots of stuff in the sky and sonic booms when they land the booster, and there haven't been any launches in a while. Actually, like the last one was 2 weeks ago, but for a while there, he was launching every two to three times a week, it seemed like. And I know because my dog goes crazy every time the sonic boom hits. And those have succeeded without any problems whatsoever. So I really think this is a problem with Starship, but who knows? So, I mean, Starship is the rocket that's supposed to do space exploration, and maybe because of what's going on down here, somebody doesn't want us doing manned space exploration. I don't know. It's all theory. So anyway, go back to Dale. He was different, but it was still in the same vein. And he did see grays. I don't know if the ship was triangular shaped that he saw on that rocky planet with the peaks, but I did that because I thought I didn't know what it looked like. He didn't really describe the ship. So I did that to give it some atmosphere and a feeling. But it was a great show. He was terrific, and it'll be very interesting to hear in the future what else happens. For me personally, there hasn't been a lot going on, although I very much strongly felt their presence a few nights ago. And I do remember seeing images being shown to me that I remember crystal clear of this very small sort of reptile looking being it had little sharp teeth and these golden eyes that were cat-like, and the reddish brown complexion on it, and lots of scales. I could bring that one to life if I wanted to. I could do a drawing of it. I'm not sure why I was seeing this. I'm not sure if it was just a dream. I know that Whitley was there. In fact, as I recall, he was the one showing me the stuff. But right now I'm doing some work for Whitley that kind of has to do with that kind of thing. So I'm thinking maybe that's what influenced that dream. So, me, Mike, thank you very much. Thank you. You guys are great. You know, you've really been helping out, and I appreciate it. Because as you well know, because I've said it before, it costs money to do this show. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it does. And we love doing it. We love you. And we love doing this work. I love doing this work, and I'm so excited to show you this next film. I'm about a little over 2/3 of the way there, and it takes place on a little island in the middle of nowhere. And it's a lighthouse, and the lighthouse keep is there, and he gets pretty scared. Some really terrifying things happen to him. So it would be terrifying to anybody to be on an island that small and be hit by a colossal storm. So I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm enjoying making it. It's probably, it just, every time I do a film, it gets more and more cinematic. So as far as going back to what are we doing to put people in front of camera and tell their stories? I mean, it's great to do science fiction films type that based on this stuff, but we're breaking the science. And I've had people say, aren't you supposed to be doing more interviews with people, letting them tell their stories? Well, right now, no one's coming forward. That's sort of a blackout on that. So as Mary keeps saying in the background, we're going to be doing the communion letters. And those will be read by Mary, and they will be visualized by myself, doing all the graphics and stuff, and trying to bring those stories to life. So that's something to look forward to, and that's what we'll be doing. And until we get someone to come forward, someone brave wants to come forward and tell their story to us. We got a guy in Florida. I know Steve's going through a lot of trouble. When we get his story, that's going to be a great one. And that will be a show. But if you know people out there that want to come forward and tell their story on camera, they're not afraid of being identified. Although I suppose I always could put a Deadpool mask on them. I have one. You know, we're here for you. So Steve, when can we buy the graphic novel? Well, I'll tell you, Benno, I've got to get this film done. I got to do another communion letter. I'm doing a painting for a book cover on a very famous case that happened in 1976. It's a big book coming out about a very classic case. And then I'm doing some work for Whitley for a presentation he has to do. So what I'm doing is doing CG replicas of what the hands and the feet look like on the visitors as he knows them to look, as visuals for his presentation. I'm not sure where this presentation is, but it is definitely up and coming. I'll probably find out more about that. Maybe it's a contact in the desert. I don't know. So it might be, or it might be just in general he needs it for his PowerPoint. So I don't know if his PowerPoint can handle animation or not, but I do want to be able to show how their hands, you know, I can do this, right? Sort of. Well, Mary's hands, I can bend completely backwards because she's double jointed. But the way it's been described is that their hands are more pliable. They don't seem to be, they will bend backwards. They have a more, they're very, very, they can flex much better than ours can. So if they go on a flat surface, they go completely flat, almost like they're gelatinous. So that's what I'm trying to replicate and get across. I'm trying to get the texture right on it and the coloring right on it and everything. He didn't ask me to do a head. I might do one anyway, just to get it to him. In fact, I could do the whole body up the road. So I've got that going on. And somewhere in between the lines there, when I get the other film done, which will be another couple of weeks, I get that painting done, then I'm going to go back and do the first graphic novel, as you called it. And the way I'm going to do that, because of time, and it's just me and Mary, is I'm going to do it all CG. I'm going to set up everything as scenes, just like if I was going to animate it. But instead, I'm going to take high resolution images of it and then illustrate over the images. So it's be a combination of a hand look and CG look, but still all my art. Otherwise, it'll never get done in a short period of time, you know. So, you know, we have a lot to do, and we have no help. So, and there's no way to, even if we did have help, they'd have to do it for free. And I'm sure there's people out there would love to help us, but they don't live in California, so that's a problem too. But we will get it. We need the V for Vendetta mask for the interviewers. Yes, that's a Guy Fawkes mask. Of course, you know that, Ann, right? We all know about Guy Fawkes. And yeah, that film is very appropriate. And I would imagine that if you suggested that the ending should be something that should actually happen, you might get in trouble for it. I don't know. I mean, they're definitely, they don't like us. They don't like us because we're critical thinkers. Yeah, we use critical thinking. We think and we question. And when they say, no, you need to, I'm an authority. I'm telling you, you need to accept this. We say, oh, we should? Why? And that's why they hate us. We're troublemakers, you know? So good trouble. Okay, David. I just heard David Lynch in my head again. I've been hearing David Lynch in my head a lot lately because I love the guy. I loved his films, and he was an amazing artist. And gee, do you think that he had some sort of relationship with this experience or not? I have videos of a light anomaly playing. Whoa, that went away fast. Playing with me in the house. If you want it, we want it. We do. Rainstorm Hunter. That would be amazing. You want to remain anonymous? That's fine. If you send us the videos and you send us a story about your experiences, you know, a couple of pages, Mary can turn that into a secret story. You're here, and I keep looking up over here. The camera. So you are the camera. There you are. I'm home again today, so that would be great, and I really appreciate that. And what we need are more people to do that. And absolutely, if you have video that you want to share, I'm sorry, if you have a Dior bag or an Oscar bag you want to share with us.
That's only in titles that.
Anyway, we would be really grateful to be able to share your experience and your video or photographs or even your illustrations. I mean, you know, art on this subject matter, I don't see enough of it. I see plenty of it on the internet, and it's god awful, and it's not done by people who've been there. The art from people who have been there is really something. Let me check over here. I've got multiple computers here. I was able to grab a frame grab from a video that showed, there it is. Okay, so now I got to do is get it over to this computer. And I'm going to do that because you're going to want to see this. This is amazing. This is from Communion Letters, and these are at Rice University. And there was a video shot of all these letters with pictures laid out across a table. And I told Whitley, I said, God, I'd like to get access to these. The only way you can is to go there, or get a frame grab from the video, which I did. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to share this. If you'll give me a minute, I'm sure you will. Here we go. Boom. And new pose. There we go. And attach this. Pictures. And in. Oh, I'm just so slick and fast here. And there we go. And boom. And open. And it's a fairly large image too. I'm surprised because the video is high resolution. I have not been able to find it online again. So I don't know what happened to it. I have to ask Whitley about that. And then we're going to download that. Did you download? Download. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go back over here. Ha. And I'm going to go over here. You know, I've been doing this for a year now. You'd think I'd be faster at it, but there's a lot of buttons to push. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened? Okay. Okay. Add an overlay. And go to downloads. Grab that. Boom. Has Steve seen what's going on with whistleblowers right now? The guy that talks about the mantis. No, I haven't. I haven't seen much about the whistleblowers at all. I'm going to show you this. Isn't that amazing? These are all drawings that were done, and there's a lot more of these. After people read Whitley's book, Communion, and they wanted to share. And these are the letters and the illustrations that went with them. In some cases, you can see that there's a letter there, and then there's an actual illustration down there below. But the one of the hybrid is very striking. And you see her with the hair. And I have seen this. I have seen this. I have experienced this for sure. And I would love to have access to this artwork. You can see there's a triangle craft up there. You can see various drawings of grays and the type of being that Whitley saw. And this was all God, it had to be about like 1988, 87, 88 that he and Ann were getting these images and these letters. And they're incredible. In fact, you can see the one over the very far left, kind of the middle, and down below that, you can see the very similar grays to the ones I started doing, but I had never seen these drawings before. There was no way. There was no internet. People weren't sharing them. I mean, it was, and I was drawing the same things. So it's pretty amazing. That was just a frame grab I was able to grab from that. So I don't know if you guys ever got a chance to see that, but I mean, it's amazing. You're used to seeing art like that, but that's from 88 and 87, 88, 89, right around in there. So it was way before the internet and just after Communion came out. And so if you have artwork and a story that goes with it, we want to share that. We want to share your story. And if you don't want to use your real identity, we will keep it concealed. So I just wanted you to know that. So what else do I have here? I was talking about, you saw that picture. I'll go back to it. A lot of stuff here. That girl over there. I mean, her hair looks like it's short cropped and it's pulled back. Remember you saw that. And I'm going to go here. Pictures. Where's my stuff? Here we go. Here we go. And I'll put this up. This one has not been corrected. It's raw right from the scrapbook. There we go. So you see her over there to the left, and it's obviously a very human-looking face with dark eyes. This was done. I did not go into hypnosis to experience this, and I will not go into what happened on this show because it's very personal, and I don't think it's appropriate. But look at that. I had never seen that before. Look at the shape of the chin. Look at the eyes on that drawing from Communion Letters, and then look at that one that I did. I mean, they're so similar except for the hair. I haven't shared this with Whitley yet, but this was a very interesting being. Very interesting. And a lot of people have done illustrations of these particular beings.
Can't see you.
Can't see me.
No, there you go.
There. Well, that's showing the picture. So have any of you seen or experienced something like that? I know people have. I just don't know if you have. I'd have to go to comments. There we go. Oh, high Victorian costume. Yeah. Well, that being actually sort of growled at me. She did this low, like thing. It was amazing. We did do, Yvonne and I, a session on it, but as I said, it was intimate, it was personal, and it was it really isn't something that's I can share. Maybe if I see you in person. So those in the center remind me of when Gina read. Well, yeah, there's a reason for that. So dirty blonde hair for skin. Anyway, so again, if you want to see more happen on this channel, we need to get more people to come forward. And I understand right now in this current climate, that's not going to be easy because people are really afraid and they're really shy. And, you know, we got some bad people out there with a lot of money and power watching us, and it doesn't make you feel comfortable. But I'll tell you this. We can't be scared. We can't give in to their fear tactics. We really can't. And so we need to keep this conversation going. We need to keep bringing the fact that this subject matter is very real to the public, and getting it out there any way we can. How long have you all been waiting for disclosure now? And, you know, it's really not getting there. But I know there are people out there sitting on video that they're afraid to show. I know there are people sitting out there on photographs they're afraid to show. I know there are people out there who have physical evidence they're afraid to reveal or show. If I had any of those things, I would be doing it. I did back in the 90s. It got me a lot of trouble. Thank you, Earl. But we need to keep this up. We can't show fear. We've got to show people that this is real and that, you know, we're not all crazy, because we're not. We're all of sound mind, and we have lives and families and jobs, and we do normal things. Or as David Lynch would say, and we do normal things. You ever notice the way he does this? So, yeah, well, that's my whole point. They're being silent, and I get it. You're afraid. I mean, but once this stuff gets released on the net, it's kind of hard to bury it. I mean, it's out there, and if it does, something really valuable comes on the net, like, you know, video that really is alien being on video, before they can get a chance to take it down, everybody download it, get it on your machine, and then make sure you get it off your machine and put it on a backup SD card or something like that. If we're diligent, we can keep this data and we can keep putting it back on the internet. And as much as they take it down, we keep putting it back on, because we're not hurting anybody. We're just showing the truth, and we're trying to show the reality to this subject. And there are people who don't want that done, and they make us out to be bad guys for trying to do the right thing while they're doing the wrong thing. and like that. So who's gonna do it? Come on. Well, I'm going to be talking to Whitley more. We talk all the time, but I haven't talked to him about, hey, anybody wants to come forward and talk about this stuff. And I know he said he has more letters once we get through the book, but we need more stuff. I sent the video, and I'm a techno. Okay. So you're a techno wanker. That's what they call us in the UK, probably. And you sent that to
Breaking the silence.
okay. Did you get it, Mary?
I don't know. I have to go look.
Okay, Mary's going to go look. But thank you for sending that. And
Oh my God. It's not working.
and I know how you feel. My Chinese UFO videos of some of the biggest historic UFO sightings in China get taken down all the time, and I keep reposting them. Share them with us. Send them us. We'll put them up too. Well, hopefully they'll stay up. Mary and I are armed photographically up to here. We have so many cameras. We have night vision cameras that are really good, and we have excellent telescopes and excellent cameras that work in low light. And you'd think we'd be out there getting stuff to share. Well, we will be. It's just right now, it is freezing. I keep bumping into the green screen. It's freezing out there, and it's been windy, and we haven't even been able to calibrate, triangulate our next star Celestron telescope, which we got for our birthdays. And I haven't been able, I got the finder scope lined up, but you need 3 stars, you need to triangulate, and we haven't been able to do that yet. But as soon as this weather improves and gets warmer, we're going to be out there a few times a week. And the night vision camera is amazing. I remember back when we got it, we right away got some interesting things to look at. But I know there's stuff flying over us all the time. And that's when I saw that big triangle with Whitley. And Mary was talking about putting a camera on the roof and just leaving it on and letting it record. That's a really good idea. We're thinking about doing that. And if we can get good videos of things that clearly aren't airplanes, and they're not helicopters, and they're not drones and other aerial phenomenon that aren't related to actual non-human intelligence guided craft, whatever they may be, we're going to put them up and we're going to share them, and we're going to call them what they are. Hopefully they won't take them down. So sharing with my East Coast family in April. Oh, you're going to do that, huh, Susan? Okay. Since they made it legal to fly drones at night, it's been nothing but trouble. The whole thing with flying radio-controlled aircraft that really gripes me is that it's affected my hobby of flying radio-controlled airplanes and jets. They're not drones, but the FAA has now classified them as drones. And so we have to have a license to fly and transponders on the plane and all this stuff. And good luck enforcing that. Now that Trump's fired most of the people at the FAA, they're going to fly at night. They're going to fly anytime they want. And the problem with it is that they don't have a right to be reckless. They may, sure, they have a right to fly, but they don't have a right to be reckless, to interfere with aircraft, to interfere with tankers trying to drop water on people's homes to keep them from being burned is what's happened around here. Drones are a real problem because they basically fly themselves, and you don't really need a lot of skill to fly them. You can program them. It's like driving a Tesla. You put in where you want to go and it goes. I know that a lot of drone pilots will get mad at me for saying that, but it's true. And yeah, it does take skill to fly a drone in a race and have it go through tunnels and underneath things and that stuff. That takes skill. takes even more skill to fly a P-51 Mustang with a 103-inch wingspan and get it up in the air and get it down again. But our planes never leave our sight, and they never leave the perimeter of our field. And it really bugs me that we're getting a bad name. People need to understand there's a difference between those quadricopters and a model airplane. So yeah, they are a problem, the drones. There are some very responsible, very talented people who fly drones only, and they do a lot of good for us. I mean, there's so many things we get to see beautifully from the air that you really can't get as well from a helicopter any other way, and really great shots in movies and all that stuff. And they're good for that. But giving them to the public to fly anytime, anywhere they want, is just never been a good idea. So personally, I don't mind the regulations because the hobby was kind of dangerous before they did that, because anybody would go buy a model airplane and then they I've been hit several times standing on the runway and nearly badly injured as a result. That's pretty much all gone away, and I'm glad. So I'm looking at comments. You were saying that yeah, I want to get one of those 180-degree cameras. Yeah, that'd be great. But if you want to get a good camera that's not terribly expensive, that you could, if you see something that's lightweight enough, it's high resolution enough, and incredibly capable of shooting in low light without being night vision, the Sony A7 III is a really good deal right now. And I was able, the first night I got it, to go out in the backyard. There was no moon, and just pointed at Orion, and there it was. I mean, I could see the whole constellation just beautifully, just like I was looking at with the naked eye. And that's really good low light capability. I haven't messed with it further. I can't wait to put it in the telescope. But with a 1,000-millimeter lens at f4, I should be able to get some pretty good shots of things that we can't explain. So UFOs. You hear that, you bots? Anyway, did Larry see some Foo Fighters? I made a movie called Foo Fighters. It was back in, when was that? 2008, 9, right around in there. No. Yeah. 2009 to 2010. In it's about some World War II pilots that actually shot down a Foo Fighter and collected the body from it. And then they kept it secret till there was only one of them left alive. And then that person decided to tell the story, but none of the mainstream media wanted to hear it. So basically a rag reporter went to hear it and thought, okay, tell me your story about UFOs and all that. Okay. He even shows them a body and he says, that's not convincing to me. I could fake that. But what happens at the end of the movie, he can't deny. So the one thing he did take from the crashed ship, the saucer that they shot down with their P-51 Mustangs, they got a lucky shot with an air-to-surface missile. So, but yeah, it's not that great because we shot it on consumer cameras and it was very early CGI I was doing with lightweight, but it has its moments. So maybe I'll put it on the channel. So yes, join the forum. Now it's gone kind of quiet again over there. I've been really busy. I haven't been over there monitoring, but I do get messages over here telling me that you've posted new stuff. And I know Benno's posted his art, which is great. There's I think a woman named Helen there that's been posting art. There's been several people there sharing their art and sharing their stories. And keep this in mind. With the way things are going, we don't know what to expect from day to day. The one thing that's great about the forum is that it's just a forum, and it's not part of some big conglomerate or corporation. It's just
us.
It's just us, and it's it's what they call it, open source software, and it's just sitting on a server,
and it's private.
And it's private. So in other words, if you want to be able to go in there and read what people are saying and see their videos and see their artwork and all that on this forum, you have to become a member. And it's free. You have to register, and you'll get sent a thingy saying that you've been registered, and you'll be approved. But the minute anyone comes in there and causes trouble, they're gone like that. So it's just us in there, and so it's a really safe place to be, and it's our database. And if YouTube goes down or says, channels like this one are no longer allowed, or, Vimeo does the same thing, and, the forum hopefully will still be there. And it's, we can back it up and we can put it somewhere else if it goes down, if they take it down. And so it's kind of like our little fortress of solitude, right? Oh, Superman, where are you now? Just when things have gone wrong somehow. Anyway, so it's another good reason to populate the forum, because you can be there among friends, among people who have these experiences, and know that you are pretty safe there, because it is private, and that if we do get a bad guy in there making fun of anybody, he or she won't last more than the first post they make that's derogatory. So it is private, very much. Thanks for pointing that out, Mary. So, do you have any questions that you would like to ask or suggestions about the show? We'll be doing another communion letter very soon. We have the movie coming up, The Keep. And we are always looking for new guests to have on. It was great having David last night. We've encouraged David to get a better camera / microphone for being on shows, because it was kind of rough last night hearing him at times, and he's got a lot to say, and he's a very sweet human being, and we'd like to hear him a little clearer than we did last night. So we're looking into people we're trying to get on the show. I'm even looking into, I'm going to send, as soon as Whitley gives me the email, I'm going to send Jacques Ballet an email and try to get him on the show. I'm not making any promises, but I'm hoping
Yes.
will you do a reaction videos in the future?
What do you mean by that?
Well, reactions to what, Mike? Me, Mike. I know you've made suggestions before, some people you'd like to see on the show. That's always helpful. You can send those to us in an email or put them in the comments, probably better in our email. We can't think of everything or everybody to have on. But if we have them on, the way I do the Friday night shows is really different from a lot of other people. It's very casual. It's very, you're in our living room and I have this wonderful guest and we're just going to have a conversation. So it's not structured. And it kind of, every conversation takes on a life of its own. So I really like doing it that way, and it's been very popular. Yeah, Jacques would be my first choice. Of course, Earl. I wish Stanton was still here. I wish Dr. Lair was still here. It'd be wonderful to have him on. We haven't had Yvonne on in a while. It might be nice to have her back. See what's been going on with her. I mean, we are in touch. She's really busy. But we were always in touch, and she's always sharing with Cyril what we're doing, which is great. So I don't know what's new happened there, though. Where did you purchase the A7?
I just told her.
Oh, you did. Okay. Is the lens separate? Was it? No, they have package deals, and they will. I think that was what was that?
It was a package deal.
It was a 20 to 75 or 25 to 75 millimeter lens, which is a really decent lens to have, but you can mount almost any lens you want to as long as it fits the Sony A7, which I believe is a bayonet mount. So it fits our Celestron telescope, which is fantastic. We got a special adapter for it. I can't wait to get out there under the stars and start doing this again. Oh, could people submit their drawings? Yes.
Yes, in the forum.
Yeah. Oh, for the intro, hand drawn or computer assisted for visuals.
Email them.
Yeah, please send us an email, Moonglow. Please. You know, this is an active family / community, and we really want it to grow. And you know, there's no leader, there's nobody in charge here, there's no authorities, nobody knows everything. A lot of us have a lot of experience, but we want to come together and share that experience and knowledge we all have, and spread it wider and wider and wider, and come into contact with more and more people just like you. Because I think if we hold back in the dark, this is never going to see the light of day. And it needs to see the light of day, because in light of everything that's going on in this planet, I think the planet really needs it. We're not alone. And when we die, we don't die. These are like, you know, everybody wants to know what's the two big questions. Are we alone in the universe, and what happens when we die? Well, when our bodies die, we, us, you and me, we don't die. And there's as much evidence to support that that's true as there is for that of non-human intelligence visiting us here on Earth. There really is. So we need to get that out there, because if people realize that it's not oblivion the minute the brain stops working, I think they're going to look at things differently. What do you think? Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are like that. They are indoctrinated, and they cannot change their opinion when new information is presented to them, but more and more people are waking up more each day. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's because of the work that you've all been doing, the work that all of you have been doing, not just Mary and I here with Breaking the Silence. This is a platform for you all to come together and feel this vibe of this group, of this family of people involved in this. But you're doing the work, because you're talking to your neighbor, and you're talking to your friends, and you're talking to your family. And if you have a channel, you're talking about it that way. And you're expressing it in art, and you're expressing it in music, in so many ways. And then you got guys like Earl, who's out there, you know, spreading this as far as he can, and investigating cases, and putting on UFON meetings, inviting the public in to see that this stuff is genuine, not just a bunch of tinfoil hat stuff. So we need more of that. We need as much as we can get, because if the world realizes, A, we're not alone, and that we never die, it's going to change perspective a great deal. And who knows, maybe it'll just get better here on the planet. What do you think? It's worth a try, ain't it? It is. There's our email. And we answer all our email. We don't have watchdogs or gatekeepers that sift through it and go, well, this guy's whack, let's throw that one out. We don't. We get back to everybody, and we get a lot of email, but between Mary and I, we answer everybody, and we treat everybody equally with respect and love. So what do we have here? I had Oh, Lynn, yeah. You know, I had as you know, I had a backwards near-death experience, or because someone who died actually pulled me out of my body and took me there with them. That was amazing. I don't know what you call that. I don't know if there's a word for that, but that's what happened to me, and it changed my life forever. Thank you, Judy. I'm sure she's happy wherever she is now. Okay. Hey, Damon. You think? I don't know. I don't. I wish they wouldn't. I mean, I really think that humans going out into space and going to other planets to the moon, and it's really important. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Something I would love to do myself. I think it's just important. It's there. Why not? But there are a lot of people say, no, it's a waste of money and it's dangerous and we should just send robots. And we're sending lots of robots out there. The moon is occupied. Well, yeah, so is Mars and so is Earth, and it's occupied out there. Absolutely. We know that the dark side of the moon has a lot of things going on there. And I have been shown by people who were on the inside at one time and who took things with them, photographs of the moon that clearly showed almost human-looking type structures on it that were dilapidated and very old. They weren't being used anymore that I could see. But they were real. They weren't doctored pictures or faked or anything, and they were black and white because they were from that era. But there's much more than that. In fact, if you go back and watch Disney's Man in Space series, it started in the late 50s, went into the 60s. There's one where they go to the moon, and it's live action. It's not animated. It's very well done. And they go around the dark side of the moon, and they send flares down to the surface of the moon so they can see what's on the dark side of the moon. And you see like this alien city or structure down there. And they don't really talk about it, but the flares flicker and you see it and they show it. And I remember seeing that as a kid and thinking at that very moment, yeah, there's something on the moon. I don't doubt it. That episode is on YouTube. I forget what it's called. It might be A Trip to the Moon, but it was Disney. It was done in the late 50s, early 60s, and it had Von Braun's craft in it, and they built big models of the spacecraft. It was really well done. It's quite good. You should see it. But they talk about mythical gods or goddesses. No, no, I don't think so. I did have a meeting with 3 spirit guides. At least that's what I felt they were. They were indigenous people, and they were dressed with braids and long hair and tribal clothing, and they were older men. And I sat on the edge of a creek that was running with water, and it was at night, but there was a glow in the sky, and they had a very long talk with me. I have manned photographs of structures on the moon, large UFO on the moon, all sorts of stuff on the moon with a Nikon that was similar to the other friends' astrophotography. I've seen Grabber. There's been people posting this stuff, amateur astronomers, and they've been taking it down. Did you see video shot from Celestron-based and other based telescopes, amateur telescopes, of huge platforms that are not our space station in orbit around the Earth? I don't know what happened to those. I tried to find them again, and I should look again, but they were up there. But the thing is that you can find those yourself. They're really up there, and there is stuff on the moon you can see with telescopes. It's really there. So I'm surprised they haven't banned telescopes yet. What happened?
I wanted to say.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, it went away again.
That's what I wanted to say.
My channel got shadow banned on YouTube when I shared some of my work. Interesting.
Again.
So did you respond to that, Mary? Post them in our forum. Yeah, absolutely. See, that's what I mean about the forum. I know I've had a lot of people say a forum, it's so clunky, it's old fashioned, it's this, it's that. Nobody does forums anymore. Well, we better start doing forums again. And I think forums are great because you have all these subjects, all these little departments, from general session, to introduce yourself, to UFO photography and videos, UFO experience, your stories.
Art.
It's art. So when you go into one of those, you'll see, oh, there's so-and-so's experience, and they got some drawings and things, and that's their thread. You can always go back and find that thread, and you can add to it, and you comment, and you can always go back and find it.
And post
You put up a comment or a thread about something that happened to you, some pictures on YouTube. In less than 5 minutes, you can't even find it again. You'll scroll down and down and down forever. You can't find it. For what we're doing, forums is the best way of preserving this data and categorizing it, and social media can't do that. So I highly encourage you. And there are people there, if you have a problem figuring out how to post photographs and stuff, that will help you. I also put up, I think in general, I put how to post photographs and videos. It's very easy once you look up and see the icons. I mean, there's like a little thing there that looks like a motion picture slate for video. You click on that, you add your URL. You can't upload a video to it, but if you have it on a server somewhere other than YouTube, if they keep taking it down, we can put it up there. I'm not sure that they'll host videos. We have to pay more money to do that. But if we ever get to that point, then yeah, we will have server space and we could put videos up that YouTube won't take down because they can't. It's on our forum. So I can't emphasize how important it is to get involved in the forum, because if it goes dark here all of a sudden on this subject matter, we can go over there. We can also use Substack, which hosts video there and stuff too. So that's another possibility. And of course, Blue Sky is very what's the word for it? Progressive, and won't take down your stuff.
No
At least
question.
not yet. What is it like to talk to a gray? Oh God. Well, you hear them in the middle of your head. It sounds like English, but it probably isn't, because they are not a race of beings that uses speech to communicate. But somehow we do hear it as speech. And usually the voice sounds feminine or childlike, and it's very soft. They're not big on words. They're not. I get more visual from them than I do anything else. Is it your voice? No, it's not my voice. And that's the thing. I don't hear this. I hear a different voice, entirely different from mine. So when I hear it. So it, I mean, I remember one time I'm meditating and I was very upset about something, and I had my eyes closed and I saw her, and she came with my eyes closed. She came right up to me and she put her arms around me and she held me and she told me, everything's going to be all right. We love you. And that was it. In my film, but something is there, which I think a lot of you still haven't seen. It's on the channel, and it's a 40-minute film. It's with actors and sets we built to recreate things from my life experience. But at the end was the night that I was on the phone with Whitley and I saw the big triangle, and I heard in my head again, there's still hope. Don't give up. That was 2017, 18, right around in there. So, and that's probably a good place to end the show tonight, because there is still hope, and we cannot give up, and we have to stay diligent. So there is no show next Friday, I'm sorry to say, but we have family.
Nothing next weekend.
Nothing at all next weekend. Well, maybe the trailer for the keep, but we have family coming on Thursday, and they will be with us till Sunday, and then the following week we'll get back to normal. And with any luck and a strong wind, I may have the next film done, but I can't be sure of that. I do know we'll be starting another communion letter very soon. In fact, I may not even wait to finish this film to start another communion letter, because we have several that Mary has picked out. So I want to thank you all for your participation in breaking the silence, because this is your place as much as it is ours. This is a family. This is a movement towards real disclosure, and I really appreciate your support. I think you people are absolutely wonderful. I love you. Oh, just tons. And we'll see you again really soon. We'll see you in the forum, and we'll see you in the community. Until then, you guys have a great evening.